So you lost all that weight and now the big question is, how can you keep it off? And to many people this seems more of a problem than actually losing the weight. And you probably know people who lost a lot of weight, but to whom sooner or later it all came back. So how can you keep it off reliably? The first way, of course, is you do just as you did when you lost the weight. You keep track of your daily calories and this time simply consume as many as are needed to keep your weight steady. But if you lost weight over the course of months, you know how much work this can be, and there should be an easier way. And indeed, there is. And this way comes to us in form of an instrument many of us have at home, and that's the scale. Some people say the scale is too unreliable to be used to keep track of your weight, but I think that's because it's used in the wrong way. And if you follow 3 simple rules, the scale will become very reliable. Rule number 1 then is, weigh yourself regularly. Either per day or once per week, it doesn't matter as long as you keep a regular close look on your weight. Rule number 2 is, weigh yourself under always the same circumstances. Let's say you decided to weigh yourself once per week and you started to do so last Saturday at 7 a.m. in the morning before you had breakfast. But this Saturday at 9 p.m. and after you had dinner, you remember, oh man, my weekly weight check is due, hop on the scale and it says 5 pounds more. Some people will then think, oh man, I gained 5 pounds in 1 week, it's all for nothing and I can eat as much as I want anyway. But the real difference between the 2 readings is of course that on the first one you had little clothing on and your stomach was empty, and on the second one you had all your clothing on and your stomach was full. So to make the readings the scale gives you meaningful, always do them under the same circumstances. If you decide to weigh yourself on Saturdays at 7 a.m. in the morning before you had breakfast, that's the way you should always do it. And rule number 3 is, write the numbers down so you know where a trend is going. Let's say on your reading last Saturday the scale said 165 pounds. This Saturday it says 166, next Saturday 167 and next Saturday 168. That's a positive trend over 4 weeks and you can be pretty sure that this indeed means you have gained 3 pounds. On the other hand, when the readings say 165, 164, 166, 165, you can be pretty sure it's just fluctuating a little and that your weight has stayed steady. So how can those 3 rules help you keeping your weight steady? Let's say you got that trend we just talked about, where you go from 165 to 168 pounds over 4 weeks, and you can be pretty sure you indeed gained those 3 pounds. It is just 3 pounds, and you can lose those again within less than 2 weeks. Compare that to people who lose 30 to 35 pounds over months, buy themselves all those new clothes they now fit in, but stop weighing themselves. The first time they will find out that they might have gained weight again is when those new clothes don't fit anymore. Then they step on a scale again and see that they have gained 15 to 20 pounds again and they are halfway back to where they've come from. If you keep the problems small, they will be much easier to handle than when you neglect handling them and letting them become big and you have to do it all over again. This concludes this video. As always, I hope it was of a bit of help to you. Until next time, bye bye.